And in this final segment, looking at Derby points races leading into the Kentucky Derby Trail, some of the important preps winding things up points-wise: the Wood Memorial, the Florida Derby, the Bluegrass, the Santa Anita Derby, and also the last big win from the Japanese runner Luxor Cafe in Japan.
Loaded and off over the mile. 5 runners, the William Hill Top Price Guarantee Patent Race. Together early on are Mount Kilimanjaro and Titanium Emperor. Close up on the inside is Powerful Lady, followed by the Chestnut Filly Spicy Margarita in the all purple. And the back marker is Lincoln. Little between Titanium Emperor and Mount Kilimanjaro, one out from the rail, a length and a half in front. The next pairing, Powerful Lady and Spicy Margarita, and observing from 5th and last place is Lincoln. 5 furlongs to go, heading towards the end of the back straight, and it is on the inside Titanium Emperor and David Egan from Mount Kilimanjaro, and Ryan Moore on board the short odds favourite. Together next are Spicy Margarita, Wayne Lorton on the outside of Powerful Lady, Shamie Heffernan, and the back marker remains Glinka and Dylan Brown McMonigal. Little or no changes in the order, having passed the halfway stage, turning back for home, and it is Mount Kilimanjaro on the outside, cold with a big white face, who's just edging it now at the head of the straight. From Titanium Emperor on the outside is Spicy Margarita, and then Powerful Lady, who switches to the far side, and then Glinka. Racing inside the final 2 furlongs, and stride for stride still, Titanium Emperor and Mount Kilimanjaro was trying to get on terms over on the far side. Powerful Lady, then Spicy Margarita and Glinka inside the final furlong, and Titanium Emperor has brushed aside Mount Kilimanjaro, Powerful Lady and Spicy Margarita. Titanium Emperor wins well on debut from Spicy Margarita. Mount Kilimanjaro well beaten off, and then Powerful Lady and Glinka.
Yeah, it's been a quick fire double for Team Amo. Adrian Murray, of course, and David Egan. Titanium Emperor, who's seen a smart performance on debut here, but is called by Night of Thunder.
Yeah, and a really, really good performance, Kevin. Quickly out of gates, got to the rail, but he was eyeball.
And the race is on in the Lamb Home South Tampa Bay Derby. Got away to a good start. Owen Almighty to the inside, Brodeur flashing good early speed, and Patch Adams wants to join the party up on the outside. It's Brodeur and Owen Almighty. They're 1-2. Patch Adams to the outside, away third. Naughty Rascal, Chancer McPatrick, they're 4th and 5th. Just in behind them, Filoso had to tap on the brakes momentarily from that 6th position, and Hill Road takes up his spot at the back of affairs early on as Owen Almighty and Irad Ortiz Jr. going to cut the corner now a length in front. In the second spot goes Brodeur. Chancer McPatrick stays toward the inside. Patch Adams right to that one's outside. They're 3rd and 4th. At about 3 off the leaders, they move on to the back stretch. Naughty Rascal. Patch Adams looked like he maybe got out a little bit there. Lost a spot to Naughty Rascals. Now back 5th. 23 and 4 was the opening quarter mile time for Owen Almighty, who takes him up the back stretch. Some mild pressure from Brodeur. Right to that one's outside. They're length in front of Chancer McPatrick. Patch Adams now back in gear up on the outside of Naughty Rascal. They're together at 4th and 5th. The 2 at the back, Hill Road and Filoso. 48 seconds flat for the opening half mile. Owen Almighty, Irad Ortiz Jr., Brodeur, Jose Ortiz, brothers at war past the 3/8 pole. They're a length and a half in front of Chancer McPatrick, who's biding his time toward the inside. Filoso starting to launch up on the outside of Patch Adams. They're racing together out wide. Chancer McPatrick and Anita seam. Owen Almighty brings him around to the top of the stretch. Brodeur, Patch Adams 3 wide. Filoso on the far outside. Chancer McPatrick still waiting for that seam to arrive as Owen Almighty turns him in. Owen Almighty to the 8th pole, 2 lengths in front of Chancer McPatrick, who tries to come after that one, but Owen Almighty's 3 lengths in front. Chancer McPatrick, a final 16th. Hill Road up the inside. It's Owen Almighty in front. Owen Almighty by 4. Owen, the all-powerful Owen Almighty, wins the Tampa Bay Derby. Chancer McPatrick was 2nd, 3rd went to Hill Road. Patch Adams 4th.
And ladies and gentlemen, the road to the Kentucky Derby has arrived in Virginia. There in the gate And they're off in the Virginia Derby. Getaway car, like a rocket out of the gate, is in front by 2 in the first few strides. Getaway car heads over to the inside to lead the way. An American Promise comes out from the inside post to stalk the pace from second, and Render Judgment is up there too. Here comes Render Judgment, 3 wide to join the fray on the far outside. Those 3 right across the track down the backstretch run. And then it's 3 lengths back. Authentic Gallop comes out racing in 4th. Rapture toward the inside is 5th. Studley Do Right nudged along in 6th. And stretch running Omaha, the trailer in 7th. Through an opening quarter in a swift 23 seconds flat. American Promise and Getaway Car going head to head for the lead. They hit the far turn that way. They're still 2.5 lengths clear of Render Judgment, who backed off a bit and is back into 3rd. Rapture toward the inside is racing 4th. Authentic Gallop coming under a ride while 5th. Studley Do Right and Omaha. Round the far turn. American Promise has come on to take the lead. Is wide on the track, but is in front by a length as they head for the quarter pole. Getaway Car, Irad has opened up the throttle, but he's back into 2nd as they come to the top of the stretch. Render Judgment racing 3rd, and Rapture is 4th. They're off the turn in the Virginia Derby. American Promise clear by 3 as they head for the final furlong. American Promise trying to pull the upset. Getaway Car has given way. Render Judgment, Omaha, the Virginia bred coming down the center, but American Promise has a 5-length lead, 100 yards to hold it. Now it's 6, and now it's 7. The Virginia Derby to American Promise. Render Judgment was 2nd, and it's tight for 3rd.
Poster is the favorite. He's 8-5. California Burrito is 5-1. He's not joking to complete the line. Ready for the Ruby. And there they go in the 54th running of the Jeff Ruby Stakes. And showing some pace as expected is Innovator, and also there with him is California Burrito and Charlie's to blame from the inside. Maximum Promise is much closer this afternoon. He covers Baby Max. Poster gets to the inside before the first turn. That's a good move for him. So they race into that clubhouse turn, and Charlie's to blame has the lead. Innovator chases the pace from 2nd, and California Burrito sets up shop in 3rd. Baby Max is 4th inside of Maximum Promise. Calling card from the rail. Curvino to the outside, 3 or 4 wide entering the backstretch. Poster's in a good spot. He gets to save ground. He's in the 2 path. Jacoso tries to make an early bid, getting within 5 lengths of the pace. He's not joking. Little shy of 7 from the front, joined by Flying Mohawk. And Final Gambit is the last of 12 as they race up the Turfway Park backstretch in the Jeff Ruby. Charlie's to blame, 3 parts of a length to Innovator. California Burrito with an early bid heading into the turn. Baby Max is saving ground. Poster continues to improve his position. There goes Jacoso with a wide run, and he's getting in contention with 3 to 5. Maximum Promise is trying to quicken after him. Flying Mohawk begins to gear up. He's hitting his best stride. Curvino's under a drive. They go to Final Gambit, and he's not joking. California Burrito has come away with the lead at the top of the lane in the Jeff Ruby, and Jacoso is chasing after him, and Maximum Promise is hitting his stride. It's California Burrito, Jacoso. Here comes Final Gambit to the far outside, rolling home like a good thing. Check out Final Gambit and Luan Machado. They win the Jeff Ruby Stakes going away. Flying Mohawk was 2nd, and Maximum Promise, Poster, and Jacoso. Final Gambit has just won the richest race in the history of Turfway Park.
Hancock, the 2-1 favorite. Right now, 4-1 on Caldero, waiting to load. 5-1 on 6, Built in the gate. Now, Furio's joined up. Tyler Gaffleone with Caldera. Florent Giroux with instant replay. 10-1 and one more. Brian Hernandez Jr. with Hypnus. They're in the gate. They're off in the TwinSpires.com Louisiana Derby. and John Hancock was sharply away. Here's John Hancock to the early lead from Yinzer. Furio is right there with the white blinkers and built close up in between horses. Chunk of Gold with Caldera. Vassimo. Hypnus gets position and angles toward the inside parts of the track. And back of Hypnus is Tistastic, and Instant Replay is last as they enter the first turn. It's John Hancock. So with pole position for Flavian Pratt, it's John Hancock, who's made a very easy early lead as they go to the back of the track. And on the outside is Yinzer, who follows John Hancock and built his third with the rail. Furio alongside running in fourth. Chunk of Gold settles into this run here in fifth. Then on the outside is Caldera, who's next in sixth. Farther back to Vassimo with Hypnus, Tistastic, and the trail remains Instant Replay. The quarter for John Hancock, 22.99 seconds. The half mile for the front runner, 46.84 seconds. And now they're in the vicinity of the half mile pole here in the Louisiana Derby. And it's still John Hancock. John Hancock continues to lead. Yinzer on the outside is Furio, who's coming with a bid, and Built is right there too. John Hancock as they round the far turn. 3/4 in 1 at 11.03 seconds. John Hancock tackled by Built. So Built is building momentum. For Jose Ortiz, here's Built, who's on even terms with John Hancock. As these two battle to the top of the stretch, Chunk of Gold is right there. Tistastic. Furio has dropped back. Hypnus, and on the far outside, Vassimo. As they straighten away, Instant Replay is moving from out of the backfield, but it's Built, and Built has taken the lead here for Jose Ortiz. It's Built in front. John Hancock has given way. Right there is Chunk of Gold between horses, and on the outside, Tistastic. As they come past the 16th with Joel Rosario, it's Tistastic now pulling clear from Chunk of Gold. Instant Replay, Tistastic on top of the Louisiana Derby. Tistastic won by just over 2 from Chunk of Gold. Instant Replay third, and John Hancock finished fourth.
Best Friend Rocket. One back. Cornucopian, your current 3-2 favorite on the board. That could change, but that's where we sit here currently as the last one goes in. You know what that means. We're ready to go. They're off in the 89th Arkansas Derby. Slow break from the maiden Publisher, and Cornucopian's taking it to him from the word go as an arrow lead on Cole Battle, who's keen here. Cole Battle wants to get after the leaders. He's on restraint to take back to third, and there goes Speed King, the Southwest winner. He's going to take the initiative here, and Cornucopian will hook up with him going into the turn, and they speed off here. These two hook up, and they open up 5 or 6 on Cole Battle, who's running in third, placed well today, and more settled down. First division in the 4th position, 1.5 lengths clear of Best Friend Rockin' and Brereton's Baytown. Monet's Magic third last. Sandman the Gray has a fast pace to chase, and Publisher is at the back. They're going mad out there. Cornucopian wants to go, and John Velasquez is letting him run. Rafael Bejarano trying to give his horse a breather, but he's very keen too. And these two fly down the backstretch here. 45-1, that half-mile time. It's a testing first half-mile here for these top two. It would be incredible if either of them could keep this up. They're 7 lengths ahead. Cole Battle running in the 3rd position. Brereton's Baytown tries to get closer, and now Cole Battle is given a cue to go, and he's taking 3rd, and he's coming after the top pair, Cole Battle, as they round the far turn. It's Cornucopian Speed King coming back to the group. Here's Sandman threatening to run a big one, and Cole Battle, Speed King's done. Cornucopian, the dirt has turned into quicksand. He's done as they come to the top of the stretch here. Cole Battle, Sandman going at it, and Publisher trying to break his maiden in the Arkansas Derby. Cole Battle has lost the lead to Sandman. Publisher, the only threat to beat him. Sandman, he's green, drifting around here. It's Sandman in front by 2. Publisher is second, and Sandman, he's run his A race, and he gets a confidence booster heading to Kentucky. Sandman does it. The son of Tappet for Mark Cassie and Jose Ortiz win the Arkansas Derby over Publisher and Cole Battle.
Disruptor walking forward. Mataquette Road surveys the situation. Indecisiveness in the blue. 2 more. Waiting for Tapan Street. And from the outside, Sovereignty. Tapan Street goes forward. Sovereignty to the outside. And now the 74th running of the Florida Derby. They're in the gate. And they're off in the Florida Derby. It was an excellent start for Tapan Street from his outside gate, but speed at the inside from Neo Equos, and Neo Equos floats off the inside and leads the way in the run to the first turn. Neo Equos out in the 4 lane. He's floating out Mataquette Road, who's going to run with him. Indecisiveness takes back to race in 3rd. After a smooth break, Tapan Street settles into race in 4th now. Down at the inside goes Smokin' Boy. Working between them is Jimmy's Dailies. He's a length and a half in front of Enter the Dragon. Manny Franco has the race favorite Sovereignty 3rd last. Cool Intentions is 2nd last, and Disruptor is last of the 10 behind an opening quarter of 23-1. Less than 6 furlongs to go. They're chasing Mike Smith and Mataquette Road. They lead by a length over Neo Equos in 2nd. Jorge Ruiz has hold of Longshot Indecisiveness. He's 3rd at the inside. He's 3 better than the team of Tapan Street, who's racing together with Jimmy's Dailies. They're about 6 lengths off the speed. Smokin' Boy is next. Sovereignty's making steady progress here. He's in the blue colors, 5 lengths behind. He just went by Enter the Dragon and Smokin' Boy. Disruptor's in it amongst rivals, and now the trailer is Cool Intentions as they speed around the far turn. 3 furlongs remains in the Florida Derby, and the leader is Mataquette Road by a head. Up on the outside, Neo Equos is 2nd. Let go for a move now as Luis Saez on Tapan Street. He strides into 3rd. On his back, it's the favorite Sovereignty, who warms to the task within 5 lengths of the lead. They move by 3/4 in 1:11.3. They're a quarter of a mile from home. It's still a sitting chilly Mike Smith on Mataquette Road. Zayas all over Neo Equos, and Tapan Street swung to their center of the racetrack. They're an 1/8 of a mile from home. Here comes Tapan Street, surging forward now to take the lead. Sovereignty runs at him from the outside with a 16th to go. If you're looking for a shortcut to Louisville, take a ride on Tapan Street. He wins the Florida Derby by a length and a half. 2nd is Sovereignty. 3rd is Neo Equos. 4th is Mataquette Road. Disruptors up 5th for the high 5 in 1:49.1.
収まって係員が離れました。スタートしました。11番ルクソールカフェ好スタートを切っています。まずは外目からじわっと10番コシュデリ出ようとしますが、3番オタマジャクシ、4番イサナ、そして5番コスモコンフェルマ、これら先行。この集団に10番コシュデリもつけていきました。これらの後ろ11番ルクソールカフェ中段の外目、このうちに1番ゴールデンクラウド並んでいって、スタンド前から1コーナー、2馬身ぐらい後ろ2番ルバン・ユニベール、9番ベルベルコンパス、その後7番シュラザックが続いていきました。イムホテプは後ろから2頭目、名将随分最高峰。馬群が2コーナーにかかります。4番のイサナ逃げました。リードを体半分、追って外5番コスモコンフェルマ2番手、2コーナーから向こう正面です。1馬身半差、10番コシュデリが3番手、インの4番手3番オタマジャクシです。この後1番ゴールデンクラウド、この外に11番ルクソールカフェ並んでいきます。先頭までは5馬身ぐらいです。1馬身半差中段にかけて2番ルバンユニベール、外に9番ベルベルコンパスが並んでいきます。800を切って 1000m1 分3秒1で通過しました。あと後方3頭、6番イムホテプ、このインコースに7番シュラザック、後方に3頭目、一番後ろ8番名将随分となっています。3、4コーナーの中間、4番のイサナが逃げていますが差が詰まって、5番コスモコンフェルマ、10番コシュデリ、スーッと11番ルクソールカフェ、外から残り400を切って前に迫っていく。この後ろ内目にゴールデンクラウド、直線コースへと向かってきます。逃げる4番のイサナですが、外から11番ルクソールカフェ、あっという間にかわして先頭に立って突き放す。200を切りました。2番手一気に広がって、イムホテプ内からは1番ゴールデンクラウド、外から名将随分も追い込んできますが、差は開く一方、11番ルクソールカフェ6馬身リード、ルクソールカフェ圧勝ゴールイン。2着は8番名将随分、わずかに遅れて1番ゴールデンクラウド3着でした。
Barnes walking up in the Zidane Racing Stable Silks, and Baeza to the outside. loaded smoothly. And they're off in the Santa Anita Derby. And a very even break. Citizen Bull is flashing his natural speed, but he's got company immediately from Westwood, and Journalism backs off the top pair. Barnes will come from off the pace today, and Baeza is at the back of the field. So it is the long shot Westwood who gets to the front. Martin Garcia guides Citizen Bull to his outside now, and will run in the two-path to the 6 furlong pole. Journalism is down at the rail, joined by Barnes. Barnes takes third as they move toward the back stretch, and Baeza is at the back. Just 3.5 lengths covers the field, and it is Westwood on even terms with Citizen Bull. They race together as one. 2.5 more lengths back to Barnes in third. Baeza is inching forward. He's getting into the race right away, and there goes Baeza after Citizen Bull, who has the lead past the 5/8 pole. Journalism is down at the rail. Extremely compact field. There's a half-mile left to go in the Santa Anita Derby, and it's the 2-year-old champ, Citizen Bull, and Martin Garcia just in front. Westwood is now backing out of it. Baeza running a big race. He's clearly in second. Journalism is hard-ridden at the back of the field, and the trailer is Barnes. They're coming to the quarter pole, and Citizen Bull's been in front throughout. Baeza up alongside the challenge, and now Journalism is revving up a clear-cut third. They're at the top of the stretch in the Santa Anita Derby, and here's Baeza. Baeza forges past Citizen Bull, and Journalism is kicking into high gear. Journalism and Baeza in a Santa Derby showdown. It is Journalism just in front of Baeza. Write this down. Journalism is the best in the West as he wins the Santa Anita Derby. Baeza punched his ticket to Louisville. It was a long way back to Westwood and Citizen Bull.
Big ambitions, I'm sure, for a lot of these horses. As Galactic Star will be the last one to lock away here at the 1900-metre mark for the UAE Derby. Set to run. Ready now. And away. Shin Forever a little slow out of the machine. Same can be said for Dragon. Away fast Admire Daytona. Flood Zone. Rafid works forward. Galactic Star the deepest at the post. Don in the Mood is going to drop in behind them from Queen Azteca. Shin Forever. Heart of Honor midfield. And Dragon drops out to last and is slightly detached from the field. 1,500 and change left to go in the UAE Derby at Admire Daytona, who leads Rafid a narrow margin. Into third now, Galactic Star. He's able to opt in and get some cover now coming in as the field splits apart. It was 4 lengths to Flood Zone, the inside of Heart of Honor, who spots the lead half a dozen lengths. Shin Forever next from Don in the Mood. Then came Queen Azteca, and Dragon now trying to reattach himself here with 1,100 metres left to go. Admire Daytona the leader. He's coming clear by about a neck now to Rafid. Galactic Star gets closer. They certainly pack ranks here as they start to work off the back. Galactic Star gets closer. He's up on heels. Up into the 1-1 now, Heart of Honor. Safi Osborne's been able to improve into a nice position. Don in the Mood off around them from Dragon, who's now starting a mid-mace move also. The pace really starting to eject into the event. Then came Flood Zone from Shin Forever. And out to last now is the Norwegian in Queen Azteca. Pace on. Admire Daytona the leader. Heart of Honor in the middle of the sandwich. 3 deep and wide now was Don in the Mood, who's still trying to work into the lead here. A gap to Dragon. Then came Shin Forever. Galactic Star. Queen Azteca. Rafid drops away with Flood Zone. They come into the running and the UAE Derby, and it's Don in the Mood who takes a narrow lead from Heart of Honor, who's trying to respond here through the middle. Admire Daytona fighting back as well. Good go here. Half furlong left to travel. Don in the Mood. Heart of Honor picking up the middle now. Heart of Honor working through with Admire Daytona. Admire Daytona stride for stride with Heart of Honor. Good go down to the line. Tight. Admire Daytona maybe, not sure. Photo finish. That is awfully tight. Admire Daytona and Heart of Honor. Heart of Honor's thrown a lunge in late. Next over was Don in the Mood from Shin Forever. Then came Queen Azteca. Next over Dragon, followed by Flood Zone, Rafid, and Galactic Star. He's thrown a dive in, Heart of Honor. Will we be waiting for a number here? And the winner is number 1. Admire Daytona. He's gone on to win it.
Passion Rules goes in. Here's Tiger, 24. McAfee. Maimatoli. Luis Rivera Jr. they're in. Statesman, Samuel Marin. Sand Devil. Jose Lezcano. Omaha, Omaha to the outside. Goes in. All set. And they're off in the Wood Memorial, presented by Resorts World Casino. Rodriguez right to the front with the early speed is going to get the rail, and it's Rodriguez with the pressure from Captain Cook, stalking from the outside, drifts out of touches in the 3-path. Then comes Tiger, 24, is well settled at the rail, is in third. Not settled at touch keen and wants to go is Maimatoli, is in between horses in fourth. Wide Journey for Sand Devil early is in fifth. Very wide Grande. Orange Cap is in the 6th path here as they work to the backstretch. Moving through at the rail, that was Passion Rules, who's going to be mid-pack towards the back end of the field. You've got Statesman there with McAfee and Omaha. Omaha, the late runner, 23.31, and pretty tightly bunched here in the wood. It's Rodriguez in front, has a neck advantage. Captain Cook just watching the action here from second. Captain Cook and Manny Franco watching Rodriguez at the rail. Maimatoli's going to push forward. Grande out in the center of the racetrack has momentum for Dylan Davis. 4 across the racetrack through a 47.44 half-mile time. Passion Rules is saving ground towards the inside for Carmouche and moves on through. Maimatoli's backed out of it. Sand Devils trying to run on. McAfee far back. Tiger 24 Statesman. Omaha, Omaha. They're still chasing Mike Smith and Rodriguez. Captain Cook with every shot to run the front runner down. Here comes Grande, is trying to launch that rally. Passion Rules and Carmouche looking for a way through. Rodriguez turns up from home and has the lead. It's Rodriguez trying to open up, is doing just that. Rodriguez has now taken 3, almost 4 out of the field. Grande in the center of the racetrack is chased all the time here by Captain Cook. It is Rodriguez. Rodriguez with a 16th left to go. Rodriguez is opening up. It's a front-running score. The 100th running goes to Rodriguez. Mike Smith win it. They win the Wood Memorial, presented by Resorts World Casino. Grande finished second, Passion Rules third. Then came Captain Cook, trying to hold off the late rally there from McAfee. Final running time, 1 minute 48.15 seconds.
Chancer McPatrick. Admiral Dennis, the last one. Comes forward. They're at the post. And they're off at the Toyota Bluegrass Stakes. There goes Owen Almighty, and East Avenue goes with him. Owen Almighty, East Avenue come right to the front as a team as they head down into the first turn. East Avenue from the outside moves up and is determined to have the lead. Clears now with the lead. Gets over to the rail, and East Avenue will guide the field around the first turn. Opens up by 3 lengths. Owen Almighty is second by 2.5 here early on with River Thames in third position, and is followed by Rendered Judgment against the rail in fourth, a half length. Chancer McPatrick fifth on his outside. Admiral Dennis is sixth, and Burnham Square last of the 7. Running 10 lengths off the lead. The opening quarter went in 22.95 seconds. East Avenue, the leader. East Avenue, a 3-length lead. Midpoint of the backstretch. Owen Almighty, second, 3/4 of a length. River Thames, third up on the outside. Then a gap of 2 more lengths. Rendered Judgment is fourth by just a neck. Chancer McPatrick is still there with him in fifth. Followed by Admiral Dennis in sixth. And Burnham Square, last of the 7. 46.95 seconds the time for the first half mile. Over to the far turn they go. East Avenue, the leader by 2 lengths. Owen Almighty is second by just over 2. And now River Thames picks up the chase from third. Render Judgment is fourth. Chancer McPatrick is 6 lengths off the lead in fifth. Burnham Square has to go wide from last. Around Admiral Dennis, they move for the top of the stretch. East Avenue, the lead now down to just 1 length. Owen Almighty is in second position off the turn. River Thames is in third. Burnham Square still has a lot of work to do. Moves out to the center of the racetrack. Coming into the final furlong. Owen Almighty challenging East Avenue. River Thames seeks to join them. Admiral Dennis runs late toward the rail. Burnham Square from the outside. They've got to get East Avenue. He's got the lead in deep stretch. He leads a length and a half. River Thames is still trying. Burnham Square unleashing a final try down to the wire. Burnham Square gets there. A last to first run in the Toyota Bluegrass under Brian Hernandez Jr. Goes in, first wire, they're at the post. And they're off in the Stone Street, Lexington. There goes Preeter, and there goes Bracket Buster. These two come to the front in the opening strides. Hypnus is away running in third, followed by Gosker in fourth. Awkward beginning for Hard as Life. Quickly recovers, moves up toward the inside. In fifth, heading into the first turn. Then Bullard, who goes in sixth, and Native Runner last of the 7. Bracket Buster, the early leader. Bracket Buster on top by a length around the first turn. Preeter between horses is second, 3/4 of a length. Hypnus moves up on the far outside in third. Gosker fourth back toward the inside. Hard as Life. Bullard outside of that one, then a break of nearly 4 more lengths back to Native Runner. The opening quarter went in 23.73 seconds. Bracket Buster shows the way. Bracket Buster is on top by a length. Preeter second, 3/4 of a length. Hypnus third on the outside. Gosker is fourth back toward the inside. Hard as Life against the rail, fifth by a head. And Bullard alongside of that one is next to last. Break of 3.5 more back to Native Runner, who continues to trail. 47.62 seconds the time for the first half mile. Bracket Buster, the leader to the far turn, 3/4 of a length. Preeter, second, 3/4 of a length. Hypnus, third up on the far outside. Here's Preeter now trying to draw alongside of Bracket Buster. Hypnus third. Gosker is still fourth toward the inside. Bullard is fifth. They're at the quarter pole, still 6 lengths off the lead as they move off the far turn to the top of the short stretch. Here's Preeter right alongside of Bracket Buster. Then Gosker and Hypnus. Bullard has to go wide, still 8 from the front. Preeter has the lead. Here's Gosker to the outside, Bracket Buster back toward the inside, and then Hypnus and Bullard still far back, and Gosker's got the lead in the final furlong of the Stone Street Lexington. Gosker and Irad Ortiz Jr. to win it. It was Bracket Buster who was home second, followed across the line by Preeter in 1 minute 44.15 seconds.
You like free money? Well, Capital OTB gives its players plenty of opportunities to cash in. At Capital OTB, there are so many ways for horse players to receive bonus dollars by simply participating in promotions such as our bankrolls, bounty bets, online handicapping contests, and much, much more. Plus, with Capital OTB's Player Rewards program, you get actual cash back. So what are you waiting for? Log on today at CapitalOTB.com or CapitalOTBBet.com and claim your free money.
Want to get your career in horse racing off to a fast start? Well, the University of Arizona's Racetrack Industry Program is your winning ticket. The Racetrack Industry Program has served as a springboard to some of the industry's most successful individuals, with a proven track record of job placement right out of college. If you want to earn a degree in the exciting horse racing industry, the Racetrack Industry Program can put you in the winner's circle.